Cherry Bulk here. And it's been a while, sorry. I meant to start uploading constantly, but I got kind of sick. I'm just now only starting to feel pretty much up to snuff. So, this is a video I wanted to make before, and I would have had this out like 2 weeks ago. It's just, like I said, I fell ill. So, I have a PC again, which means I can now start making like proper fighting game YouTuber videos. And I think it's time I made a Cameo tier list video for Smoke. Finally. Um, I thought about maybe just doing it with in game footage and showing examples, but it's really too much work. And I think at this point, most people know enough about the game that I shouldn't have to explain all that or show all that. Um, Now, of course, it's a subjective opinion. Tier lists always are to some degree. Although there's a limit to that subjectivity. At a point on a mathematical basis, there are going to be some cameos or characters that are literally just the best. And I'm not the best Smoke in the game. I'm more of like an innovator in knowledge well of this character. Um, I wish I was better, but life just doesn't allow me to like grind enough to compete the way I want to. But I do understand the game at a fundamental level. I know how the character works at a fundamental level. Um, I could teach somebody how to play Smoke at a high level and win tournaments if I wanted to, right? Um, so I think I'm pretty qualified and knowledgeable enough to speak on what this character works with best and worst in this game. So, first, I kind of want to address what I think this character needs to be good. So, because he is a character that runs away a lot and relies on severely punishing mistakes for running away, because you're not just like necessarily set playing people, and especially not trying to set play people off of your own aggression, you're usually doing it when you get your hit from defending yourself or making them screw up. You need high damage with this character. So big damage is a thing I really value. So I'm looking at, depending on what the starter is and all that, I like 35% meterless on up. Now that's not always doable. You'll see here in the full top 10 cameos, it's not necessarily doable, and that goes to the second point is if not big damage, I want convertibility. So the big one being the ability to combo off of back forward 3. And that's useful for multiple reasons. It gives you, combo extensions you normally can't get. It makes zoning reads where you go like EX back forward 3 that work really rewarding. And it allows you to threaten like on staggers. Like, for example, um, like one of Smoke's fundamental things is to do forward 1-2 and mostly do that, and then occasionally he pulls the trigger on doing the full forward 1-2-2-4 string, right? And normally you can't get a lot out of that, even with most of the best combo starting cameos. But if you can combo off a back forward 3, then you can threaten the full combo off the second half of that string, right? So that's an example of another thing you want. The other thing you want is you want throw combos, obviously. I kind of feel like in this game, if you cannot throw combo, and if you can't throw combo with the cameos that complement your character best, you're kind of screwed in this game. Um, it can only be one way, but it's also beneficial if you can do it both ways. So there are some cameos on this list that you can both do a back throw combo or you can do a shove combo, and it works both ways. Um, Other thing is the ability to force invisibility on block, which all of this top 5 can and does do. Um, the top 10 can too, to some degree. Um, it's easier universally to enforce invisibility on hit, but, um, sometimes being able to do it on block is more threatening and more stressful, right? Because On knockdown, they still have like knockdown timing to play around with, and sometimes they can just flail when they're waking up. Their options are actually more limited when they're forced to block you going invisible. So, with that said, I'm gonna start going here. So, a lot of people they like to do worst, or they like to do best to worst. I'm actually going to go worst to best because that's going to allow me to kind of establish thoroughly what this character thrives on cameo wise, what he doesn't. Um, so first I got the bottom five. So as you see, I have it. It's either bottom five or I haven't tested it thoroughly yet. Um, Part of this is because like these five cameos here, um, some of them I've extensively labbed and played, and I just don't see the vision with them. Some of them I just haven't really tried too much because even in the lab, I haven't been able to find anything that just works, right? So, as you can see at the top, this is not ordered tier list, but I will tell you, like, the top five, subconsciously, I ordered it. This is the top five I would pick. Everything else I just threw in there, but I will tell you, like, if I think there's like a noteworthy spot for a cameo, like I'll tell you for sure like what the absolute worst one is, and we'll go into that here in a second. So let's get started. So I gotta go in order from right to left up. So we're gonna start with Goro. So first thing I don't like about Goro is actually another thing I forgot to mention is with very few exceptions, as you can tell by my top 10, I do not like losing health. There is only one minus health cameo on my top 10 list. Everyone else either leaves you neutral or gives you health. Smoke has to take more risks than a lot of other characters on offense, so he just needs to be able to be tankier than most characters. Um, Not saying the flexibility of like Goro can't help you, but here's the problem. You do low damage with Goro. Your conversions with Goro are just like not very good. They're not good positionally. They're not good from a um, like accessibility perspective. Um, if you want to like use the low command grab launcher to combo off of, it is extremely difficult and extremely precise to even get a proper full combo, save get any decent damage off. Um, the ambush is whatever out of compared to the top 10 that have ambushes. As far as continuing pressure, he is the absolute worst one. It has one of the longest cooldowns in the entire game anyway. The raise the roof ambush cancel mechanic is cool and it allows you to do things. I mean, you do get throw combos to this cameo. You do get combos off of strings into down back 2 for big damage. But it's not even in the mid tier of damage you get for down back 2 conversions or throws. And he's just kind of mediocre at everything. So I guess the way I would put this is that um, he's a cameo that like he made for Rufalmonger talking about like a dead character. And when he says that, what he means it's a redundant character. And Goro is a redundant character. He's not giving you anything in this game that's better or worse than anyone else. He's just kind of like mid at everything. So on top of that, combined with a health deficit, I don't like it very much. Janet Cage, this is a weird one because everything should point to this cameo being good for you, but it's also just not. First thing, can't throw a combo. I have tried to make this work numerous times. I know other smoke players have tried. If it is possible, it is so frame perfect you will never consistently do it in tournament. And if it's something that you're likely to drop even with the coldest of nerves, then it's not good. It's not viable. Yes, there are ways to send up Gento if you do a back forward 3 air ender on a combo potentially, but it's still a little awkward. there is some wiggle room for them to get out of any Gento situation. She doesn't really give you any good mix of opportunities off of anything on hit. And even her ability to convert off of certain hits is limited for Smoke. It is once again, it is almost frame perfect to make her give you full combos off like back forward three on hit, and like it is so not reliable. I spent hours trying to make back forward three conversions work consistently with this character, and as far as I can tell, you can't. Either you can't, or it literally changes depending on every string when you need to do it. And from like a tournament playing perspective, that's too much mental baggage to juggle just for your basic confirms, right? So, um, I also just don't see the vision with Janet. Nothing she does seems good enough really to warrant using her. Jax is so this one's a combination of one that I haven't played a lot of, but I've labbed a lot of, and I just don't see any use. If I'm really being honest here, if I were to tell you the bottom one cameo, I right now think it's Jax. So Jax doesn't give you back forward three conversions, doesn't give you throw combos, doesn't give you really any kind of noteworthy extension on your standard combos damage wise. Um, there's not really any definitive ways to set up ground pound stuff with Smoke that's worth going for. And it's just as simple as that. All he has is the +7 power wave. That's pretty much it. And you get so much better than that from other cameos. I mean, yeah, he gives you 100 plus health, and we obviously see that matters in this game, but the cameo's toolkit still has to be good. And I just think Jax's is not very good unless it's like with specific fraud characters like we see with like Scorpion or Takeda, for example. So yeah, Jax is the worst, and he's the worst for reasons. They're just, as I said, they're so basic. He doesn't give Smoke anything of what he needs. So next is Madame Bo. So I made a video a couple days after she came out saying that I thought she was kind of mediocre, and I still think she's pretty mediocre. And while there are definite uses where she's good, we see that she's kind of like the grappler steroid injection for the grappler characters. For Smoke, she's just not offering you anything that's not done better by everyone above her on this list. Um, and that, it pretty much comes down to that. I still think the drink moves are terrible and not worth it. And so all she's left with is the slide starter she can use in neutral to catch you, like maybe trying to move backward or something. And maybe like the instant air belly slam when you have it. But once again, it's full combo punishable no matter what you do with it. You can't instant air it to make it safe. So you can't even be rewarded for like a higher level of execution with it, and it gives garbage damage on hit anyway. So yeah, and Madame Bo is just kind of whatever. So next is Farah. So of course everyone I think thinks that this cameo makes every character good, and it's just not true. The only way that Farah works for you is A, you have to have a throw that puts your opponent and you in an airborne state so you can do the mount to turn it into a throw combo. You have to have strings that are jailing or hard to react to into stance. And you have to have, like, block stun that makes it difficult for them to react to as well when you do stance transitions. And Smoke gets none of those things. And that's just it. The damage for Smoke is mediocre. There's no realistic way to set up pain and gain no matter how advantage on hit you are. It's not there. It's just not there. And that's also pretty simple. A lot of the cameos that are not good for Smoke, it pretty much boils down to they don't meet enough of the criteria that I said I think he needs to compete, on top of not offering you enough damage to even compensate for it. So that's my bottom five when it comes to that. Of course, if there are any other smoke players, if you think you know something about these cameos I don't, I'm happy to hear them because I haven't seen anything. I've never discovered anything. I never played any smoke player who's made any of these cameos work really well. Yeah. So now we're going to go to the rest. So this is kind of like the mid tier cameo choices, you could say. And I do think they work, but once again, uh, there's a pretty big trend you're going to notice is that the majority of this tier are characters that put you below standard health. So, like I said, I don't like health reduction on smoke at all. And so these are cameos that have good tools, but they're still like outdone in damage, outdone in flexibility, and they're outdone in uh, like reward in general. So I'm going to talk about Movado first. This is another character that everyone seems to think just makes every character in the game better, and it's also just not true. Um, you get throw combos, but you get better with all the top 10 I have listed. Um, Back forward 3 does not count as being flagged for his ambush extenders to work, so that's garbage. And the damage is like mid tier in the smoke cameo pantheon, and you lose health. Um, it just doesn't offer enough. And it's that simple. Yes, he has the bomb, but smoke makes use of all the better ambushes in this game much better. I think Movado is a cameo is that he thrives on those characters that like they have those sweeps that put you in like the state that allows them to combo, or they have strings that have like a knockdown low that normally can't be comboed off of and things like that. He's more like an incidental conversion character, and Smoke is already good at doing that anyway. He doesn't need Movado's help to do this. So, yeah, I think Movado is like you're not on the struggle bus, but you're not trying to win either, if I'm being honest. Hold on, let me get a sip of a drink here. Okay, Chameleon. Um, Same thing. You don't really get as unreactable as the shenanigans on like block that sub gets. Damage is mediocre across the board. Having to juggle and maintain concentration on your routes through what part of the cycle you're on is like extra mental stack on yourself you don't need to be putting on yourself. Um, and She doesn't really give you any kind of mix that's real, except maybe back to ball roll or back to three, which is a mix up that's punishable both ways. Um, there's not even anything you can do in the fan lift that's hard to react to. Save completely safe. All of it's like option selectable on block. They can just mash or down to as soon as they see you do it. Um, Once again, pretty simple explanation. Chameleon's just like you're only picking Chameleon for the well-rounded factor, and there are cameos that do that better without losing health, and on top of that, adding health and do more damage and give you better conversions. There's also another situation where you can't combo off back forward three either, unless you have fan left, right? And even then, it's a little finicky. So next is Kano. Um, I played quite a bit of Kano like 5 months ago, I think it was, and I did a full cameo review of him. And even with the changes he's gotten, I still can't help but feel that like you're just playing suboptimal striker or sector at this point. There's not really any reason to use this cameo. So, first of all, his knives do not have enough hits done to be worth fishing for hits with compared to like a sector missile or a striker grenade, especially airborne. You can't combo a back 4-3. You don't get throw combos. So what you are left with is you can go invisible on block, guaranteed, and you can set up like standing resets to invisibility because you can do a string into EX down back 2 with the knives going on, and then do like jump 1 forward 1 2, right? But you're sacrificing a lot of damage on what will be a normal 1 bar combo for an attempt at doing the damage, you do a one hit for one bar without spending Kameo that you would use in like Shujinko, or even like Sector, right? Because the knife cooldown is longer too than Sector or Striker right now, as far as I'm aware. Um, so once again, kind of the same explanation. It's just middling and mediocre at everything you need, and it doesn't give you enough of what you need. Frost is kind of an interesting one. So this is one where, like, I would say the problem with Frost is not the same as the cameos below her on this list. It's just that she's not flexible enough. I think in general her tools just still aren't strong enough. So, a couple of things. You do get a completely unreactable, although punishable, 50-50 off 4-3-2, 4-3-2, and 4-3 into low ice slide is a true 50-50. It's two frame fuzzy that you can still throw off with other options, right? So it does give you an option that works in Smoke's favor. You can also do in the corner every time you get a hit into a full combo. If you can get 3-2, you can do 3-2, stand for 4-1-2, 1+3, and cancel it into the Ice Orb, and that puts them into a legitimate set play situation where they have to guess grab or sweep. And they get full comboed either way, but you do still have to also play around to like wake up. So, unlike the previous, what is this, 8 cameos, there are actual positives here, but they're still not good enough. You can force invisibility on block because of the new Ice Wall Shatter ambush that she was given on top of the cooldown buff it just got. It comes back super fast, so you can't abuse people with it that way. You can also use it as an escape tool because you can do like a string into down back 2, just regular down back 2, and put up the ice wall during it, and Smoke will go on the other side of the ice wall and be safe. So there's also that. He can use it to like help him run away if he gets cornered. But and it does give you 50 health, I think, if I recall. I have to double check. But the biggest problem with this is if you don't get the Ice Orb set play in the corner going, her damage is really middling. Like, I don't even remember, I think off your jab, you're clearing maybe 30% meterless. And so that means you're doing like 1-1 low slide, and then you do like 4-3-2 dash cancel 3-2-3-2 jump 1-1-2 or something. And that does like 30%. And every other cameo on this list, wherever you're able to combo, like even Goro, for example, you're getting more damage than that. So that's really the main problem, is that her fundamentals-based damage, meaning like what you get off standard whiff punishes and stuff like that, is not good. So the real damage is in that Ice Orb set play in the corner, which of course also means you got to play around keeping them in the corner. All the good cameos for Smoke make him like deadly everywhere, right? So that's another problem. You're basically just kind of like fishing for a hit with like low ice puddle or your other tools to force them into the corner so you can set play them with Ice Orb, basically. So it's decent, but it's kind of a one-track cameo. It's not really strategically flexible, I would say. So next is Lao. Lao has good damage. You get complete side switch freedom without sacrificing any damage, and you get the exact same combos on whichever side you decide to go, because all you have to do is walk under them when you launch with hat spin. Those are really good. You can set up some cheeky hard to blockables now off of any airborne combo with back forward 3. But it's very tight, and there are some characters that their armor can escape out of those armor breaking hard to blockables. Now it does help Smoke's presence to have like low hat, because it allows him to control space and kind of force his way in if he has to go in. and obviously it can make it hard for people to get to you. Right, low hat's a pretty good keep out tool in this game. Um, Teleport with smoke is also surprisingly good. It allows you to deal with, like, what's an example I can give? Like if you're fighting like a Sindel, for example, it's just trying to keep you out, or they want to do something like throw out one of their huge buttons, like she wants to just throw out forward 1-3 and whiff it, in the middle of the fucking Sahara Desert and try to clip you. You can, on reaction, teleport and get a full combo punish on whiff off that. Same thing for like instant air projectiles and things like that, because you can recover in a jumping state, so you don't have to land before you can act, right? So that's good. There's like an element of control that's really good with this character. But in damages, like kind of on the higher end, you can break upper 40s to 50% for 2 bars off a lot of hits. Um, but that's kind of the extent of what it has that's good right now. Don't really have any kind of pressure tools. Your neutral tools that are good, like low hat. I feel like smoke needs to be able to put you in a full combo from full screen in a lot of cases, or at least put you in like a set play situation. Low hat on hit in this game doesn't do that for him. So, um, Glau is kind of only good when you get the hit, and of course, there's no throw combos. So there's that. You can't get a throw combo off of a shove, off of a regular throw, even if you have a fully charged tap land on the ground. You can't do it. And you can't get conversions off a back forward 3 either, even if you do it with plenty of leeway with a fully charged tap behind it. It doesn't work. But you do get good damage, you get hard to blockables, they're reasonably accessible, and the damage is pretty good. So Mataro is a weird one. Mataro, except for Striker, is like the biggest exception to my low health rule, because of how it complements Smoke's ability to run away and to kind of play like absolute shithead to frustrate people. So, first of all, teleport, just yellow teleport into full screen teleport is uninterruptible. So your opponent can always be forced to just have to deal with you playing like a fucking monkey on cocaine. And they always have to be afraid of that. So that allows you to control what your opponent does. Same thing goes for like if you want to just do random yellow down back twos. If you time it perfectly, it's uninterruptible and not punishable in the slightest. And being able to be plus 13 off any hit is obviously good. On any string on block or normal, is obviously very good. But Mataro for smoke comes at a huge cost, and that's it. You're not getting combo extensions of any kind. I mean, you do get one of the unique fail blow cancels that increases your ability to combo the fail blow. You can do a 1-1-1 4 fail blow with Mataro when you normally can't with smoke, things like that. Um, but you're not getting combo extensions. You're not getting anything off of throws. You're not really doing much else besides that. But you can't. But you do have like neutral control of the reflect. The triple shot, it allows you to, you can do like back forward 3 on a knockdown, as a combo ender, set up turret and then go invisible, so you can force invisibility. That's like one of the key things you can do with this cameo for sure. But the cooldown's a bit long. It's kind of wonky, and you have to deal with the element of improvising off of it if it clips the opponent right. So I'm kind of iffy on Mataro. So in the rest tier, Lau's probably the best character here. So now we're gonna go to the top 10. So Darius, everyone knows from my posts on his channel previously, I kind of love this cameo for Smoke. It was okay. I mean, it was one of the worst cameos in the game. Mostly only worked for Reiko until they added Army of Two. This is the double hitting armor breaking low that is done from whenever you use the ambush that puts them on the other side of the opponent on a knockdown, right? So Army of Two is a maniacal move. it's a jailing plus 9 on block, um, armor breaking move that does 200 damage if it hits normally, and it turns any armor break into a launcher. This is a unique property of this move. So, first of all, what this can result in is just your opponent not being able to do anything anytime they get knocked down. They are always going to get checked by Army of Two attempt, right? So, once they're kind of like put in that situation, they're forced to deal with a armor breaking 50-50 vortex that's like about as real as it can get. It loops. The cooldown is fast enough on the ambush that it's usually back by the time you finish the rep of the combo you chose to do. So you can also use the classic ambush, the tag team move ambush, to get throw combos, so that's good. You can use it to net humongous damage on hit confirms off back forward 3. You can easily, if you commit to just doing like let's say you do 1-1-1-4 into back forward 3, all you have to do is after the ambush hits, you do the back Kameo uppercut tag team move. Instead of finishing it, you jump and do like 1-1-1-1, jump on 1 into EX teleport into whatever, and you do like 46 1 bar off your jab, right? So you have this threat of this gigantic damage spike that you can take advantage of. Now, the caveats to this Kameo are back forward 3 conversions are dependent entirely on you willing to spend the whole Kameo bar. You don't get to combo off of your jab without that. So all you have to settle for is 1-1-1-4 or forward 3 into 1-1-1-4. And the reason that this is more acceptable than other Kameos is because you get a perfectly auto-timed wake-up timing option selecting 50-50 attempt. You do 1-1-1-4, buffer forward dash, call out Darius, and do lower overhead with your own lower overhead, and it works every time. You can easily option select both normal and delayed wake-up timing. So there's that, and like I said, there's the ability to just completely steal around from somebody at the drop of a hat if you have full Kameo bar. I believe it's been a little bit since I've labbed it. I think off a jab, if you do what I talked about, where you do like 1-1-1-4 back forward 3 into the Kameo uppercut into, instead of doing like jump 1-1-2, you do a jump 1 on the way down, do forward 1-2-1+3 and a fail blow, and you just did 50% mirrorless off a jab. So there's a robbery factor, there's a set play and mix factor that's good. It's just your ability to have more flexible converting ability, especially on back forward 3 and back throw, is limited, but it's not that bad. Next is Scorpion. So Scorpion was actually one, besides Sonya, it was the first Kameo that I made in this game for Smoke. And basically the big selling point of Scorpion is huge damage off any touch, no matter what. The ability to convert off of anything, pretty much, and turn it into a gigantic blowout. So, the reason that this has gone up in viability, though, is originally I would have told you, well, you don't get throw combos or anything. You don't get anything worth it off of a throw. And so all you have is the damage and the back 4-3 converting, right? But now we have the Flame Aura. And the Flame Aura transforms the threat of Smoke throwing you. Because the way the Flame Aura works is it almost behaves like a Scarecrow poison gas from Injustice 2. Where if you have the Flame Aura on and your opponent cannot hit you, it is forced to block you, it will just kill them, right? If they have so little health that the Flame Aura on its own on block will drain their health to 0, even with flawless blocking, it will kill them. So there's a bit of a guaranteed kill factor involved with this. You essentially get a 15% throw that if you get to pressure the opponent afterward on block, it can turn to like almost a like 22% throw, and then obviously they get hit by a combo, right? If you get like a full hit confirm, then they're taking a combo that normally without Kameo or smoke would do like 34 that does 40, right? So Flame Aura kind of changed the game for this character on top of having an overhead that is really good for shimmies, for like walk up shimmy and for baiting throw attacks and stuff. And the damage is just like crazy high. You get 50% close to mirrorless with any hit off of this Kameo if you're willing to spend both bars for a double flame breath, right? And it comes back fairly fast, so that's good. On top of that, it complements his runaway game anyway because spear pull is kind of absurd, right? So, next is Shujenko. Let me get a drink here. So, Shujenko is a unique caveat exception. He doesn't give you back forward 3 conversions, and he doesn't give you throw combos. That's true. So, what does he give you? Well, first of all, he absolutely jacks up the fuck out of your damage in this game, since his combo starter has no cost. It's infinite use. It doesn't affect his stolen move cooldowns at all. It doesn't do anything. And on top of that, because of how long smoked combos take, you can start a combo with Shujenko and then have a fully charged Shujenko by the time you're done, and end a combo and air back forward 3, allow you to safe jump and then potentially kill somebody. And the reason for that is because like Shujenko's stolen moves just don't scale at all. They don't. Like if you're fighting Ghostface, if you're fighting like Omni-Man, Homelander especially, these kind of set play mongoloid characters people find irritating, you do the same thing back to them harder than they do to you, and you kill them in like 2 or 1.5 hits, and they have to hit you like 3 or 4 times. So that's good. There's also, he has a safe pushback ender on a block confirm. He has 100 plus health, which is always good. So the biggest part of him, the biggest caveat beyond no back 4-3 combos and no throw combos, is he's really going to be matchup specific. There are some characters where it's not the way he steals is bad, but the cameos just give you better results than whatever you get from the opponent's character. Like what I guess the character I think of, for example, that this would apply to is like Ashra. There's no reason to use Ashra or Shujenko against Ashra, for example. You don't get anything that good. So next, I'm going to talk about Serena. So Serena is the most quote unquote honest and like fundamentals play based Kameo for smoke. It's all neutral. It's all you have. But you get really high damage off of every hit. You get meter drain off every hit. You get meter gain off of every hit. You have a lot of flexibility in that regard. Obviously, you don't get back 4-3 conversions, but you do get like meter drain or meter gain kill time off of a back 4-3 if you want to use it for that reason. So the neutral control and the damage are really the two things that save this. Plus, you have the best Kameo reversal in the game. I'm pretty sure the tail flip is the fastest Kameo reversal in the game, probably. It also, a lot of people don't know this, if Smoke has you cornered and he uses reversal tail flip, it actually gives him a full combo. So he is in the corner with Serena a invincible full combo launcher. Which can make it very hard to get out of the corner against him. We have to worry about being launched if you have a gap anywhere. But Serena is obviously really basic. But the damage is the thing that really makes it threatening, because you're hitting like mid to upper 40s off any touch without spending anything else, which allows you to keep all of your meter for, going invisible, for, cancel conversions where you don't have Kameo uptime. So it kind of offers you this combination of high damage when it's up, and then like meter flexibility when it's up. and it's kind of hard to be down on Serena. Her cooldowns are pretty fast. So once again, she's kind of a cameo that has some caveat exceptions to what I think is good for Smoke, but she has had them. So next is Sub Zero. I know a lot of people, they like this cameo. They like the easy mode, um, guarantee EX smoke bomb standing 50-50 reset stuff. You do get health. You don't get full combos, but you can extend your throw damage. You can extend your back forward 3 damage with the new shoulder ambush that they gave him. And it's even better because they made the cooldown faster on it, so you can do it more often. So what you get with Sub-Zero is reliable, easy hit confirms off everything. There's no special rules about converting with this cameo you have to worry about. The damage is solid. You know, you're hitting like upper mid 30s to low 40s off anything mirrorless if you want to. Um, you have a, you know, plus on block pushback move that allows you to create space when you're trying to run away. You can force invisibility on block because of the shoulder charge ambush out of Ice Armor, and obviously Ice Armor is insane as the anti-zoning tool against some characters in this game. And I also think the parry is kind of nuts because in situations in neutral, when someone flails with a forward advancing string that's usually really hard to whiff punish for Smoke, you can just ice parry on reaction. The damage is pretty good. You can also use the ice parry to use the clone toss to force your way in because I think you're plus 6 or 7 on the clone toss. So that's pretty good. The only thing that's keeping this from entering top 5 is that you're not getting full combos off of throws and back forward 3. Otherwise, this kind of has everything else Smoke needs to work, plus some additional utility because of the anti-zoning. So now I'm going to talk about top 5. So for me, top 5 is ordered. Now, the only thing that's up for debate here, it might be Sonya and Striker's positions on this list. They might be swapped. I'll get to that and explain how that could be. So I'm first going to start with Cyrax. So Cyrax gives you everything you want in this character. You get throw combos in both directions, and you get to side switch. You have total side switch freedom without changing what the combo you do is off both directions. You have high damaging back forward 3 conversions every time. You have a move to force invisibility on block with, you know, a horizontal chopper. You have you now have reliable ways to combo into net in the corner, which gives you an invisible, infinitely meter draining vortex. Right? So this is all obviously very good. This is where we're entering into the territory of where there's cameos that just don't have any caveats. They're just good. And it's just about the percentages of which the top 5s are better than each other. Right? So you get back forward 3 conversions that hurt. You get throw combos that hurt in both directions, which is huge. You have a way to force invisibility on block. You have a true vortex in the corner that constantly meter drains while you get to build meter because you can do like 3 or 4 teleport cancels before ending your combo and resetting the situation. Yeah, Cyrax is really fucking good. He's really fucking good, man. Next is Sonya. So, Sonya, the only thing, this is another exception where you're not getting anything on back forward 3 per se, and you're not getting anything off the throws per se. But having a 14% forward throw is pretty good in this game, and it's one of the 4 throws that retains Oki in this game, so that's good. But the thing that makes Sonya a nightmare right now for people fighting Smoke is leg grab, first of all, and the new dive kick. So, leg grab on Smoke is crazy. So, first of all, it kind of removes your consideration for having to worry about back 4-3-2 getting punished on reaction. It's much harder to deal with. You can up block the leg grab, but you have to instantaneously react. It's more like a read than it is like a reactable punish when you do 4-3 leg grab. The damage is pretty good. Everyone knows for some reason leg grab, it just hits people all the time as a walk up shimmy option. You can use it as a raw 50-50 reset off of EX back 4-3 in the air into forward 1-2. So that or 4-3-2 is like a true mix up. People will get hit by it all day long. Your air to air conversions become really powerful because of her neutral Kameo ambush. Rings are crazy for space control and they help smoke run away. Same thing for the neutral ambush, right? It prevents people from just jumping at you or trying to do air special at you. You get to force invisibility on block if you get a knockdown set up ring charge. That's really good. So she has to offer you a lot of really good things. And you get, of course, safe jumps too. If you don't want to do air back 4-3 safe jumps, then all you have to do is use a bar to restand with EX back 4-3 in the air into whatever string you want into the leg grab, and then you just safe jump off the leg grab hit reaction. So that's pretty good. Sonya's pretty solid. You get very high damage. The thing that makes this the scariest, though, is if you're willing to do it and it requires such a hard read, is I said leg grab was a viable 50-50, but the real 50-50, especially off of like a forward 1-2 restand, is forward 3 or instant air dive kick. So instant air dive kick is technically punishable, but it requires a hard read up block, which obviously exposes them to getting hit by 4-3-2, and it does decent damage when it hits. And if you want to spend the whole bar on the extended dive kick, then it's even better. So you get unreactable 50-50s, you get a plus, kind of 50-50 knowledge check that you get to throw out on occasion. Like down, for example, things that are really annoying are like down 1 leg grab or down 4 leg grab. Those will hit nonstop against even players at the highest level. So yeah, my only problems with there are no back 4-3 combos or no throw combos, but the other strengths are enough to offset that. So now we're getting into my top 3, and I do think these are the absolute best cameos for Smoke. If anything is like truly ordered, at least right now, I think it's this. Like I said, there's room to consider swapping Sonya with Striker, but I will explain my Striker point here now because I do think he's better overall. So, what you get with Striker, with the new rapid fire move they added, you get throw combos, and not only do you get throw combos, you get the highest throw damage combo in the game for Smoke. You're doing basically 29 point something damage. You're essentially doing 30% damage off a back throw, and you get a full combo off of a shove that does like 22 or 23%. You have the ability to combo out of your down back 2-1 hit, which leads into 50% basically mirrorless combos off of any hit where you can convert into down back 2. You have high damaging back, back 4-3 conversions. You can cover YOLO instant air or teleports and make them safe plus on block, or delay them to catch people trying to punish you and they get launched. You have, the unreactable plus unblock 50-50 that you can end all your strings with. And there's just a lot about Striker that works for Smoke. You're basically everything about the character is complemented by Striker in a really good way. The most threatening ways, though, are that, you obviously have the safety and the compact play that come from the grenades and that come from the baton strikes, but the biggest thing is how you can rob people off of a throw or off of a select hit with the rapid fire. That's the thing that really changed the game for this cameo for this character. Because now, if you do about any hit into a down back 2 conversion with rapid fire into fail blow, it's doing 50 plus every time. His highest damage ones, like I think if you just do a raw 2-1-2 down back 2 as a punish and do rapid fire into like 2-1-2 fatal, I believe it is doing 60. I'm not even kidding. So Yeah, very good Kameo. Also helps you run away because, you know, you can mix up ranges and timings of grenade tosses. That makes it very hard for your opponent to chase you reliably. You get to get out of the corner for free because of grenades. You get to force invisibility unblocked because of grenades. You basically get everything you need. So if there's anything that edges out here, though, it's the fact you get the highest throw combo damage in the game. Smoke and get mirrorless. That's the big thing. Um, Now we're gonna go sector here. So sector is kind of weird. You get back forward three conversions that are hit confirmable, but you do not get throw confirmable throw combos. You have to set these up. So an example would be like forward 1-2 on block, and then you do throw. And you call sector like kind of simultaneously with the throw, do double homing missile, and then combo off your throw. Um, and you get combos off of forward shoves as well. This is another thing you can set up all the time. You have to do your harder to react to dash cancels and then condition with going into EX smoke bomb to blow them up trying to poke you. But like a one that almost always works is you do like forward 1-2-2-4 dash cancel at the 2 point, right? Call a far missile and then shove, and it's almost unreactable if they um, hesitate and you commit to the full forward 1-2-2-4 string. The far rocket also bounces them up and hits them, so it's a little bit of unreactable launching 50-50. It's safe for plus, right? That's pretty good. Um, you can cover, you can fire a rocket, and it allows you to basically teleport in for free. It allows you to down back two in for free. It allows you to get invisible on block for free. It allows you to, um, like kind of zone people out who are chasing after you because close rocket is kind of hard for some characters to deal with, trying to get in on you, trying to punish you. And you get conversions off down back two with double homing missile that do upwards of high 40s to 50 plus mirrorless. So you basically get everything you want. Pretty much, you get everything you want. Plus, flamethrower is like an insane like poke move in neutral. It does good damage. It's a crazy good reversal as well. That gives you a really good situation on hit. Um, since it restands instead of knocking down, right? Teleport punch is punishable, but it's insanely good for smoke because all the way from full screen you can do down back one or EX down back one and pull them all the way in from full screen. So they have to be concerned about that. Um, yeah, Sector is really fucking good, really well rounded. Yeah, and finally is my undisputed top one, and it's Tremor. So Tremor gives you 100 plus health. You get reliable conversions off of every single hit of every kind. You get back forward three conversions to the ambushes, which, as we know right now, are recovering so fast, it might as well be the same as spending like half a Kameo gauge at this point to get that conversion. Um, High ass damage off your whiff punish buttons in Crystalline into Aftershock for round conversions because of down back two. The only thing you do not get is a throw combo. You can get a shove combo only in the corner and only in a certain spacing, and in my opinion, it's not even worth worrying about. You can also, this is the Kameo that also sets up the most dangerous ambush bait situations. So, like, one of the classics you can do, for example, is let's say you're in mid range and you do instant air teleport and they block it, and you call Tremor. If you time this correctly, you sandwich your opponent between you and Tremor. They block the air teleport, and then they have to hold the rock upper ambush. They have to. So you can get out of the corner for free if you have the ability to instant air teleport. You can reset neutral anytime you want because of forward Kameo and Aftershock. You can play a good keep out game with Metallic. You can force like quick stance setups and hard to blockable setups in the corner that are hard for people to deal with. A lot of people have seen, for example, Just Nasty will do a combo in the corner, and what he'll do is he'll end in down two, which throws you out of the corner, but it also perfectly sets up the spacing and the timing for you to do a hard to blockable with overhead boulder toss into dash up 4-3 that gives you good damage returns. Um, you get a really dirty quick stand setup because you can do. So what I do is I'll do a core combo and I'll do 3-2, 3-2, 1-1-1, and instead of ending it, I'll do a low bowler toss. It will option select both wake up timings, it's plus they block it, and if they do anything else, they get launched. Right? So you get crazy versatility. Crystalline armor in some of your harder matchups also allows you to literally punish things on hit a lot with smoke. You can use it also to like sort of force. You can also always force invisibility on block because of the ambushes. You can set up some fucked up force invisibility situations by instead doing crystalline armor ambush instead of like another ambush to jail them, which can throw them off in a way that, you know, they're not ready for, typically speaking. You have a safe, not safe, just safe, but basically full screen poke that launches in his plus by doing back 2-3 into ambush metallic lava push, which is crazy. You get a legitimate hard to blockable string that launches off 4-3-2 because you do 4-3-2 and you do a low ground pound between the hits of that string. It's basically unblockable. That's basically unblockable. So you can, a lot of times you'll do a combo without tremor, and then you'll set up an EX back 4-3 in the air restand into forward 1-2, and then you'll just do, instead of trying to mix up anything, just do 4-3-2 and then ground pound between the hits of that string, and it hits like 9 out of 10 times usually, and it's plus if it doesn't work. So your average damage is super high. You hit 36 at the lowest, and you're hitting upwards of 50 mirrorless at best. You also get, and this is the thing I forgot to mention with Sector 2, so I'll talk about this. These are the only two cameos in the game that give you full combos off of EX down back 1. And that's huge, obviously, because a lot of people, they like to jump back against smoke, and that's a key move he uses. So both Tremor and Sector, if you do ground pound or a double homing missile off of that, you are literally getting 50% one bar off of EX knife toss, which is crazy considering how good of an anti-air button it is. This also allows you to intimidate the fuck out of people that want to challenge your forward 1-2-2-4 staggers because they get hit by the second half. You just do EX knife toss into ground pound ambush, and the resulting combo does like 46%, right? No meter spent, so they're just getting hit for 46% because they tried to challenge the second half of a stagger on a 4-hit string. And you spent almost nothing for it. I mean, you did spend a bar, but like, you're doing 50% off of an incidental hit, right? That's pretty nuts. Yeah, the only flaw with this cameo is that you don't get throw combos, but everything else so is outpaced by the reward on everything else that it doesn't matter that you don't get throw combos. But that leads me to honestly believe that he's the best cameo in the game for Smoke. It's the top one. You also have really powerful, like, especially down 4 poke mashing challenge options. Down 4 into Rock Upper that's up Kameo and Aftershock is fraudulent as fuck. It hits almost all the time. It's safe on block against the like characters in jailing, even on block. They just can't do anything about it most of the time. They have to hold it. You're more likely to get punished, obviously, if you have them cornered, but if you have them cornered, you don't even need to bother doing that. Like, you're using down back 4 Rock Upper more in the case that they're trying to chase you and you have screen space to maximize the pushback. Yeah, I mean, you can also set up hard to blockables that work really well. They're very hard to block. They're like one frame separation almost by doing a restand with forward 1-2 and the raw down back 2 ground pound. That's like very hard for people to challenge. And that by itself, just a roll back down back 2 in the ground pound will do like 40+% mirrorless, right? So there's also a um, like one hit robbery factor with this cameo that you don't get with anybody else. It's really accessible and easy to do. Um, and yeah, I mean, you have like a. The thing is too is there's some crazy scaling that goes on with some of your hits with Tremor. So like let's say for example, I whiff punish somebody because they threw out like a sweep with back 2-3, right? For some reason, back 2-3 knife toss, EX knife toss into ground pound into forward 1-2-1 plus 3 fail blow. It does 70%. 70. Think about that for a second. So, anyway, that's my cameo tier list. That's my explanation. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. I'm especially curious about my bottom 5. If you guys have found anything with these cameos, I do want to know. I'd be very curious. But let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.